Welcome back everyone to another Psych Reacts video. Today we are looking at the most requested killer on this channel, aka Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Just to give a little bit of background on Richard Ramirez, he was an American serial killer, serial rapist, kidnapper, pedophile, and burglar. He terrorized the residents of Greater Los Angeles and the later residents of San Francisco Bay Area. This happened from June 1984 to August 1985. Richard Ramirez would watch his victims at night in the shadows, whether it be up in a tree or behind the fences, so be it. He waited until very late in the night to sneak into their homes and terrorize his victims. This is how the media deemed his name to be, the Night Stalker. So I have put up an interview with Richard Ramirez. Let's go ahead and get started. If you do watch and enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe because we're on our way to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
What do you want the world to know about you?
The world has been fed many lies about me. I have read very few truths.
Who are you?
Just a guy. Just a guy.
At the time, Ramirez was certainly a guy attracting a lot of attention. Since his arrival at the San Francisco jail, women from around the country, including one of the female jurors who had found him guilty in Los Angeles, had been flocking to the San Francisco facility, even fighting with each other over Richard's affections.
I have friends.
Women would come from all around the country, even after he has been held accountable for 13 murders. Some could say that he is charming, but how was he charming when he stalked his victims at night? It could have just been the persona that he portrayed on the courts and on the trials, because he did kind of play a character in his trials. As you can see right here, he is walking in like he is a movie star, like he is some kind of rock star, and that is the character he portrayed in his trials. And women apparently fell in love with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue with where we were.
I have friends. And that is all I care to say, really. They are open-minded people.
And it was here in a cramped room in a San Francisco jail that I interviewed the man known as the Night Stalker. A memorable face-off with me asking questions.
He was able to grab the attention of women from his charismatic appeals in court. And the juror who found him guilty originally and ended up coming to where he was now probably fell victim to his charisma and his charm, which is why a lot of these women were flocking to the building where Richard Ramirez was, because they were drawn to that charisma.
And it was here in a cramped room in a San Francisco jail that I interviewed the man known as the Night Stalker. A memorable face-off with me asking questions and Ramirez, for the most part, reading from a script.
Did you kill 13 people?
It would be improper for me to comment on my LA convictions and on my pending case here in San Francisco.
Why?
Because of my appeals.
Are you appealing these because you say you're innocent? You didn't kill 13 people?
That is correct.
You didn't kill 13 people.
Again, it would be improper for me to comment in any regard to that question.
So most other serial killers that have been interviewed for their crimes, Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, Jeffrey Dahmer, all of those serial killers and psychopaths have admitted to their crimes, and they have willingly talked interviewers through the crime. Richard Ramirez is still denying the fact in the public that he killed 13 people and entered their homes at the dead of night. So why is it that the Night Stalker, aka Richard Ramirez, is one of the only serial killers to not revel in his crimes? Previously, we have looked at Jeffrey Dahmer. In his crimes, he has a flat affect. He is talking like he is talking about a normal Sunday when he talks about his crimes. So either Richard Ramirez is putting on a show for the camera because he still has these appeals. This is before death row and all of that. He is trying not to convict himself any further. And I think he's doing that because one, he thinks he could get out, or two, he is just playing with the interviewer. Now, as we've seen so far, the interviewer is a little bit aggressive in his questions towards Ramirez. Ramirez would go off on tangents, but the interviewer would stop him and be like, look, I asked you this question. What's your answer? You're not telling me anything. So it could be that Ramirez is just playing with the interviewer, trying to piss him off, and he finds gratitude in that. He finds a bit of satisfaction in that. In a previous interview with one of his friends in jail, the friend mentioned that Ramirez had to violently fantasize about his victims before leaving satisfied. So he gets off on aggression. Could he be getting off on the interviewer's aggression in this interview? It's totally possible. So it's possible that's why he's not answering these questions for the interviewer, because he wants to see him get pissed off, and he's just reveling in that fact. So let's go ahead and continue.
You have now entered a very rare group of people in this country. You're in the ranks of Charlie Manson, Ted Bundy. You claim you didn't commit these murders, but you're right in there now as far as everybody else is concerned.
Serial killers do on a small scale what governments do on a large one. They are a product of the times, and these are bloodthirsty times. Even psychopaths have emotions if you dig deep enough, but then again, maybe they don't.
Do you have emotions, Richard?
Alright, so I want to point out Richard's body language here. The interviewer is basically unknowingly hyping up Richard Ramirez. He says, you are now in the ranks of Ted Bundy and Charles Manson. Watch Ramirez's body language here.
You have now entered a very rare group of people in this country. You're in the ranks of Charlie Manson, Ted Bundy. You claim you didn't commit these murders, but you're right in there now as far as everybody else is concerned.
Serial killers do on a
When being told that he is one of the top serial killers in America, this is his response. Let's slow it down a little bit.
You're in the ranks of Charlie Manson, Ted Bundy. You claim
Watch
you didn't
him.
commit these murders.
See the corner of his mouth come up, his eyes close at the smile, and he adjusts himself and sits back. This shows that he finds pride in being categorized with the top serial killers in America. The smile, he can't help but hide the fact that he enjoys being on that rank with those serial killers. And the adjusting in the seat, sitting back, he goes, that's a sign of wow, thank you. Pretty much. Because the interviewer is basically hyping him up, talking him up, right? So he's like, oh yeah, that is me. Like, right, I am one of the top serial killers in America. Look at me. So it plays to his narcissism, it plays to his ego, and he shows pride in being ranked with some of the top serial killers in America. Also, I want to point out this one little section when he was talking about what Satanism is to the interviewer. Let's go ahead and watch it real fast.
Wisdom instead of hypocritical self-deceit. It is power.
So he struggles over the word power, and you can see the frustration in him when he messes up.
It is power.
See how his eyebrows raise, his eyes roll over? Let's see if we can watch this in a little bit slower speed. Watch his face.
It is power.
Eyebrows raise, and the eyes roll. So he gets frustrated when he messes up his speech. And that's why I think he's playing a character and he's just being a messenger in this instance. Now, let's go ahead and listen to his response this time.
The ranks of Charlie Manson, Ted Bundy. You claim you didn't commit these murders, but you're right in there now as far as everybody else is concerned.
Serial killers do on a small scale what governments do on a large one. They are a product of the times, and these are bloodthirsty times. Even psychopaths have emotions if you dig deep enough, but then again, maybe they don't.
Do you have emotions, Richard?
No comment.
Tell me what kind of emotions you got going through you right now.
I'll tell you what, I gave up on love and happiness a long time ago.
Why?
I don't care to explain that. Let the quote stand for itself.
So he goes off on this tangent saying that, oh, the serial killers only do what the governments do, but in a smaller scale kind of thing. So he seems to have this kind of script that he memorized before coming into this interview, and he seems like he has certain points that he wants to hit in this interview. That's what he's doing right here. So he's putting on a show and he's playing a character as well for the camera. He's taking the role of conspiracy theorists. He's saying that the government and serial killers are in the same grade. So he's trying to portray this theory that the government is just as evil as serial killers are.
People in this day and age are brainwashed and programmed like a computer at being nothing more than puppets. This nation, this country is founded in violence.
It's almost built on a post-apocalyptic idea, saying that people are brainwashed, this country was built on violence, and he acts like he's so shook by this, like so moved by this, with the sigh at the end. But in all honesty, this is just part of his character.
Violent delights tend to have violent ends. Madness is something rare in individuals, but in groups, people, and ages, it is a rule. Killing is killing, whether done for duty, profit, or fun. Men murdered themselves into this democracy.
You're good at reading your script, Richard, but you're not much at answering my direct question.
When you look at his dialect, his sentence structure, and all of that combined, you can kind of see how vague and how, like, broad his whole ideas are, because he talks as if he's writing a book about conspiracy, and whether or not he truly believes that is a different story. But this is the character that he wanted to play for this interview.
That you're a devil worshiper. Do you worship the devil? Have you ever studied Satanism?
There are different sects of Satanism.
Have you studied, just yes or no, have you studied Satanism?
Yes, I have.
Are you a worshiper of the devil?
No comment.
Come on, Richard.
I can tell you a little bit about Satanism.
Well, I'm interested in hearing what you got to say then.
It is undefiled wisdom instead of hypocritical self-deceit. It is power without charity. A Satanist admits to being evil.
See how he kind of goes back into that character? That he is just a storyteller, and this is the story he wants to portray in this interview. His normal vocabulary isn't so high structured, but when he goes into the conspiracy theories or what Satanism is, his dialect changes for the better. It becomes more higher educated. To me, this feels like he learned all of this from somebody and is just repeating what that person told him. Because to me, this is not his dialect, if that makes sense. It's almost like he's just a messenger.
Do you admit to being evil, Richard?
We are all evil in some form or another, are we not?
I'm asking you the questions, my friend.
Yes, I am evil. Not 100%, but I am evil. Evil has always existed. The perfect world most people seek shall never come to pass, and it's going to get worse. The great epochs of our life is when we gain the courage to rebaptize our evil qualities as being our best qualities.
And as the interview draws to a
So, to me, it seems like he's memorized this script. Like the interviewer did say, he was reading a script, it seemed. And I agree with that. It does seem like he's memorized something that somebody told him, and that's what he's using for this interview. So again, he could be playing on a character, and this character believes that the government is evil, everybody's evil, and all of that. So, truly, do we know who Richard Ramirez is? After this interview, I do not believe that anything this man has said so far is truly what he believes and his ideologies. I think this is all a character. I think he's very good at playing a role, and I think he's good at masking his identity. Alright, well that has been one interview of Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker, the most requested serial killer for me to react to. I hope you did enjoy watching this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like down below. Also, there are other interviews of Richard Ramirez, like his death row interview, so if you want to see that one, let me know down in the comments, and let me know your thoughts as well down below. Make sure, if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much, truly from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!